Just to kind of set the stage, can you, as a quick reminder, tell everybody what the QQQ is?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to. So Invesco QQQ is an ETF. It's an exchange-traded fund. It happens to be the 5th largest ETF in the world, and it tracks the NASDAQ 100 index, which is made up of the 100 largest companies listed on the NASDAQ exchange, ex-financials. So pretty much a number of different companies that you probably use every day, multiple times a day, very well-known companies. But it was launched 26 years ago, back in March of 1999, sort of like in the early stages of ETFs in the US. And so in that 26 years, I mean, at the time, it was a pretty novel technology, a pretty novel advancement in the world of asset management. And to see staying power of 26 years, like it really has blossomed into this very widely known, very widely utilized ETF, and a strategy that has brought the ability for investors to add growth into their portfolio in a very easy and efficient manner.
You say 99, I immediately think about Y2K, and it's like good that you made it past all of that and all this longevity. Well, part of the growth is an investment in collegiate sports. Can you talk a little bit about your partnership with the NCAA and why that's important in your partnership portfolio? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I think in general, the question would probably be like, well, what is this guy doing at a sports conference, right? And I think we're the official ETF of the NCAA. We've had that partnership now for a couple of years. Alongside that, we're kind of the official financial literacy partner of the NCAA. We developed a program, How Not to Suck at Money. Originally, it was geared towards like the college athlete, but I mean, it's for anybody, right? It's for a college age student, it's for a high school age student, it's for a 30, a 40-year-old. Like, it really just emphasizes the basics of where do I start with investing, right? Or how do I tackle credit card debt? It's like very approachable questions to try to develop some level of education. And with that, that came in conjunction with our sponsorship of the NCAA. So I joked before in our lunch, if you watch the NCAA basketball tournament, if you're watching March Madness, I mean, I challenge you to go 90 seconds without seeing an Invesco QQQ commercial. But it's a great opportunity for us to elevate our brand with a whole new set of potential investors, a whole new set of eyeballs, and just a very high-profile sponsorship that we're quite proud of.
When you think about financial literacy in that way and the commitment that you all have had, and like you said, it's a variety of age groups. Are there any trends that you see on programs that you all have invested more in there, or need states that have shown up that maybe you've had to pivot to address?
Yeah, so we partner with a number of different schools, and I've been on the road and I've presented with alumni networks at pretty major universities, right? They'll tap a former athlete to come and talk about the importance of financial literacy, or maybe a specific kind of financial question that they've been asked. I would say it's the most encouraging thing is like the appetite for education. Like these are packed rooms with college athletes with stuff a lot better to do than listen to me. But like they are all there showing up and asking very real questions about, where do I start? What do I do in this scenario? And I think alongside like some of those alums, right, like they're drawn to those alumni. They've been in their shoes, they've been in that room, they've seen most of them a fair amount of success. And just the engagement is pretty spectacular. But I would say the one thing that I would really highlight is just like it's the appetite. These are this generation of kids. They want to learn. They want to capitalize on NIL. And I think the fact that there's so much education that is out there, not only through our financial literacy program, but I mean a number of them, it's affording these kids, these athletes, these students access to this information, and they're really taking to it.
Let's shift a little bit and talk about innovation. So earlier this afternoon, you sponsored a breakout session, Innovation and Investing in College Sports. Talk about what role innovation plays in powering a fund like Invesco QQQ and shaping kind of the future for college athletics.
Yeah, I think for Invesco QQQ, like we say that if you invest in QQQ, you're investing in innovation, right? And I think there's a few different layers to peel back on that onion. Like number one, the fact that this strategy was launched way back in '99, like as I said earlier, that in and of itself, that was a pretty innovative product. The ETF ecosystem was pretty innovative at that time. But we kind of look a little bit further because the companies that are in Invesco QQQ, like generally they seem to be able to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to changing consumer preferences, changing consumer trends. I mean, in this case, like wholesalely or looking different, or the ability to stay nimble, where these companies look way different today than they did 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And throughout that, they've been able to generate very real fundamental growth, right? They've been able to grow sales, they've been able to grow earnings, and that has fueled a halfway decent amount of performance. So that in and of itself is pretty innovative. And then you look at sort of the crossover between sports and some of these names, these technologically oriented names. It's no secret. I mean, any of the programming, I mean, everybody was talking about how technology somehow shapes sports. That could be the way that we consume as fans, the way we watch the game, what we have at our fingertips when we're watching the game, the options that we have. Certainly big data, analytics, right? If you look at preparedness, right? Film study, recovery. I mean, they need data in an effort to get any sort of edge on a competitor. And then you kind of take it a step further and you look at some of the companies. Well, a lot of these companies that are in this fund are these social media companies. And if you look at NIL and where you can monetize your name, your image, and likeness, I think immediately you get the gravitation over to kind of the world of social media. An easy way to kind of get your foot in the door when it comes to NIL and promoting your own brand. So I think the intersection has only gotten kind of more entwined when you look at some of the names within the fund or technology in general and sports, right? It's revolutionizing the way that we consume, the way that athletes play, and the way that the game has evolved and grown over the past 20 years. And I feel like we're advancing at a pace that's much faster than at any point between now and 20 years ago.
Well, the other, back to school for all of us with kids in New York today, and the beginning of fall, which I refuse to say it's fall yet because I think we have at least 20 days more, or maybe 18. But college football is officially full swing, right? So let's do some lightning round on college football questions.
Okay.
We ready? All right, everybody. Favorite college football rivalry?
I mean, I love Notre Dame SC, but I will never say anything other than Army-Navy.
Oh, very nice. Tickets to the game or home fan cave?
I don't know if I'm in the minority on this, but tickets to the game, I feel like...
We get a show of hands. Who's fan cave at home? And live?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Live.
Proud. See, my friends are all like, no, I'm just going to sit in the basement and kind of relax, and I got my big screen or whatever. But no, you got to be there.
I love the idea of live. I think especially, you talk about innovation, you talk about technology, you're hearing more and more people want the kind of experience of the game, which is very exciting. Okay, early season favorite to win the CFP?
My heart always says Notre Dame. But I mean,
we're sensing a trend.
I gotta stick with my heart. I mean, we got a free look last week. I mean, tough Miami team on the road, but I mean, Ohio State also probably.
I think I probably know what the answer to this one. Bucket list stadium and/or game day atmosphere.
Well,
yeah, I know.
You know where I'm going. I mean, an LSU Tiger right here. I know some people were trying to sway
Stadium. Do we have any other Tiger fans? I went to LSU. Anybody? Am I alone here? Okay, I'm alone. Best stadium.
They were trying to sway me before Penn State whiteout. I had a couple of folks trying to lob in, hey, throw this on. But again, I got to just stay with what I really want, and that would be LSU Death Valley night game.
Yes. Mount Rushmore of college football players, the 4 best players ever.
And I'm going to do best players, not Heisman's, not championships. Cam Newton, Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, Vince Young.
Yes, I like that.